Good evening, everybody. It is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It is Wednesday. That means it is time for Elite Extreme Women's EXW Roundtable. I am Suzy the Elf. I am your host of this edition of Roundtable. I'm going to get it shared out, and we will have us some fun tonight talking all things EXW. This is our 13th edition of Roundtable. I'm going to get this shared out here, folks, and we're going to get some, wait for people to get in here, and we're going to get started. I have shared the link to the studio in the chat, the EXW chat. So if you'd like to call in, please do so. All right. Okay. Hey, Tito, welcome to the show. Sorry, got a message from Cougs. Um, all right. Keep Cougs in your thought and her hubby in your thoughts and prayers. They are dealing with COVID. Um, so keep them in your thoughts and prayers, please, as they recover and get over having COVID. It seems to be affecting quite a few of us here lately. Myself and Gallery of Nuts are getting over it as well. And for me, I just still have the sinus going on. That and just tired. Gallery of Nuts is just tired. He getting his stamina back is what's getting him. Hey, Jamar, welcome. Glad to have you here. Let's see. I need to drop the link to the studio in an email to Firestar. Okay, here. What on earth is shit? Ah, we'll be here tomorrow by 10 p.m. Yay! And I will have y'all know, I have pre-ordered the NWO edition of 2K22. So whatever day that is that it will drop, I will have it. So, um, I will get the NWO edition of 2K22 on March. I think it's March 8th. No, not 8th. Whatever. It's like 22 days from now, 26 days from now. I think is what my um I think is what it says. Let me look here. I'm looking at my PlayStation store. I bought it through the PlayStation store. 26 days, 3 hours, 52 minutes and 30 or in 1 second. So not that long. Hey, our man True, welcome to the show. How you doing? So yeah, I as I said in the chat, Papa Elf gave me a Valentine present of the 2K22 NWO edition. So thank you, Papa Elf. Um, that was my Valentine's present from Papa Elf. Papa Elf always gives me a Valentine's, and this year it was 2K22. So I am very thankful for Papa Elf. Y'all can tell Papa Elf thank you as well, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be getting 2K22 anytime soon. Yes, Papa Elf is awesome. So he takes he takes good care of me. Um, so um, okay, here trying to trying to take care of some business. Okay. Oh, poor Cougs. I think Cougs might have this worse than I did. Bless her heart. And I say that in the real way, not the southern way. Goodness, honey. Cougs, if you don't feel like getting a show together, we can postpone it till February, or I mean till March. I don't want you to put your I don't want you to um overdo yourself. It can wait. This digital crap can wait. Okay? If you don't feel like getting a show together, the show can wait till March. The guys will understand. And if they don't understand, I'll kick their ass. Got it? Because you're more important than the show. The show can wait. But I do have, while you're here, Cougs, before you do leave, I have one thing I'd like you to do at your leisure. Go back and watch Monday's show. There was a tag match that I think you would be interested in watching as the tag GM. Hellfire and Brimstone had a great match. You might be interested in looking at them as number one, as not possibly being in the number one contenders match at the next pay-per-view. Just something for you to consider. Hey, Jake Bagwell, welcome to the show. So, at your leisure, whenever you feel up to um, up to doing that, Cougs, I would just recommend that as the tag GM, you take a look at that match. They Hellfire and Brimstone carried themselves very well against the tag champions, and I I think they might be worth looking at as putting in the number one contenders match at the next pay-per-view. So, all right. Um, let's see. I know Cougs isn't calling in. She just does. She feels like death warmed over. I saw that, Jake. Congratulations to your manager. Um, I'm happy for him. Anyway, I know Cougs is not calling in. I know Firecracker is not calling in. Little Minnie, um, Firecracker is sick. So if y'all would keep her in your thoughts and prayers. She's that little booger is a sick little girl. Bubs is not going to be calling in. She is sick as well. So she's got the sinus crud going on. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers. All of us GMs have just been hit the last couple of weeks. Um, Shulkie's never here on Wednesdays. She's got prior commitments. As far as I know, Suhlkie&Zerk are well. they're, they're like the only two that haven't been sick. So keep the GMs in your thoughts and prayers that we all get well. I'm getting there. It's just I got all this my sinuses are all stopped up. If I can get my sinuses to clear up, I'm going to be golden. Uh, but yeah, and get my stamina back up, I'll be golden. Get this COVID kicked to the rear. Um, but yeah, Bubs is sick. Firecracker's little girl is sick. Cougs is sick. Wow, we've just our GM staff has just been hit the last couple of weeks with COVID and uh, sinus crud and all this other stuff. So yeah, um, thoughts and prayers would be welcomed by the GM staff. So if you would keep the GM staff in your thoughts and prayers, and Shulkie and Zerk in your prayers that they stay well. So yeah, what a Riley, I see that you're here. I've got some updates I need to do about the shows, and then I will bring you on. I'm glad that you called in, and we will get you we will get you on here so you can enlighten us about how you feel about being on EXW. We're glad to have you here. But yeah, it's just been the last couple of weeks have just been um, rough on the GM crew. We've just yeah, we've really felt it here lately. So all right, so let's take a look back. I am going to bring up Monday's match card. If you haven't gone and seen Monday's show, I recommend you go back and catch the replay. Oh, was it a great show? Haven't updated it there, so let me grab my notebook. Yeah, allergies will get you too, Jake. I feel you there. Luckily, my allergies right now, with all the snow that we've had, all of the allergens are knocked down. So my allergies haven't been bugging me. It's just been COVID. So I don't have any allergies that are bugging me. It's just COVID. COVID's kicked my butt. So all right. Like I said, if you haven't watched Monday Evolution from this week, I suggest you go back and catch the replay. We had some great matches. It was a long show. It was a 2.5 hour long show, but it was a great show that we had. Um, some great matches. We got everybody on the roster in a match except for Tiny, Mrs. Utaker. But she did get airtime. She was managing her granddaughters in their tag match. So everybody got airtime. Just not everybody was in a match, but Tiny will have a match next week. You can guarantee that. So let's go over our card. Our first match was a battle royal. Let's see here. Let me switch pages. If y'all haven't seen these remarkable, I tell you, I love mine. It was worth it. It was worth every penny of it. It's a digital notebook. Instead of having to flip notebook pages, I just have it all right here. It's great. So our first match was a 8-woman battle royal over the top rope, and so our ladies in the match were Leilani Starr, Jade St. Creed, Ladybug, Coral Evans, Ariana Valentine, Sheba Constantine, Eros 15, aka Dizzy, and Estrella. And here's what happened. Jade St. Creed was eliminated by Coral Evans. Then Sheba Constantine was eliminated by Dizzy. Then Dizzy was and Ariana Valentine were eliminated back to back by Leilani Starr. Then Leilani was eliminated by Ladybug. Then Estrella was eliminated. And then um, for the final elimination and to win the match, so the last two were eliminated by the same person, but Estrella was eliminated and then Ladybug to win the match by Coral Evans. And your winner of the 8-woman battle royal was Coral Evans. So congratulations there for Coral. All right, then our next match was Marzana Rage versus Jessie Plaid Lantern in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And that was a long match. I mean, they fought all over the arena. It finally got to the they fought to the gorilla position, which we have not seen. Sorry about that, folks. My headset turned off. So I have to plug in. Sorry about that. I forgot to charge my headset. But Marzana and Jesse fought all over the arena until they got into the gorilla position. We have not seen that. I don't think we've ever seen them go into the gorilla position here on EXW. And then Jesse knocked Marzana out, winning this Falls Count Anywhere match. So your winner of the second match was Jessie Plaid Lantern. Great match between her and Marzana. I mean, a match for the ages there. I mean, I've got to mark that as a match of the year right there. I mean, that was an incredible long match. Then our third match was an Extreme Rules match. It was a fatal four-way. We had Jenna Rage, Enchanted Raven, Mama Hulk, and Lissa. And getting the pin was Mama Hulk. And then we had a 10-woman Royal Rumble. And let me switch pages here. We had Papura. This is the order that they entered the ring. We have Papura and Violet starting the match. Papura and Violet Walker. Then we had Tiona Moore come in, Shannon York, Jerica Page, Polly the Vampire, then Firestar, Glamazon, Jennifer Vandenberg, and then entering last was Steffi. And here's how your eliminations went. Violet was eliminated by Papura. Then Papura was eliminated by Firestar. Glamazon was eliminated by Polly the Vampire. Firestar was eliminated by Steffi. Tiona and then Jerica and Shannon York were all eliminated back to back by Yennefer. Then Polly and Yennefer were both eliminated back to back so that Steffi could win the match. And your winner of this 10-woman Royal Rumble was Steffi. And this is how the eliminations went. Papura got one, Firestar got one, Polly got one, Steffi got three, and Yennefer got three. So that's how your 10-woman Royal Rumble shook out. Then we had a tag team match. We had Righteous Desire, which is Cassie Madam Red and Sunshine Marigold. Now, they are your tag team champions. And they were escorted to the ring by Sunny's dad, Blaze McCoy. And we had Hellfire and Brimstone, which is Angelina and Karma Nightwalker. And they were escorted to the ring by their grandma, Mrs. Utaker. And this was just a standard tag match. It wasn't even an EXW standard tag match. It was just a flat out tag match. And getting the pin was Righteous Desire for the win. But that was a great tag match. Hellfire and Brimstone held their own really well against the tag team champions. Then the next match was your number one contender, 6-woman Hell in a Cell match. And that was a crazy match, let me tell you. It was just women all over the place. Pin attempts, submission attempts. It was just crazy. Nobody went through the cell. Everybody stayed in the cell. And it was Dakota Moore, Katie Nightwalker, Bethran, Carmella Springhill, Never Ending Legs, and Leslie. And Katie got the pin on Never Ending Legs. And your number one contender for the Monday Evolution Championship is Katie Nightwalker. Then we had our main event match, which is your title match for the My mind just went blank. Monday Evolution title. And it is a 2 out of 3 submissions match. And it was the champion's first title defense. And it was Bubs Hellcat, your number one contender, versus Angel. And if a 2-0 submissions, Angel retained her title. Now, if you've been keeping up with things, you know that we've been having a best of 10 series between my daughter Crusher and Sunshine Marigold. Well, Monday we had the fifth match in this best of 10. And pulling out the win was Sunshine to take the lead in 4-1. Now, Crusher has better start winning some because I said that out of 10 matches, they would draw 5-5. And if that happens, Sterling Rich retires from the DWS. So now Sunny can win one more, but Crusher's got to start winning some matches. So right now it is 4-1. And that's what happened on Monday Evolution. Now I will tell you, the number one contenders, those were chosen from your top 10. Those 6 women were in your top 10 of your Monday Evolution ladies. So they weren't just picked in random. They didn't win matches the last time we had a show. Those are from your top 10 ladies in Monday Evolution roster. So that is what happened in Monday Evolution. Next week, Mrs. U Taker will be back in action. I don't know how, don't know when, don't know where, but she will be back in action. So there we go. Now, Thursday Revolution. Let me pull up the spreadsheet. Okay. Here is your match card. In an Extreme Rules match, we've got winner Ann versus Abigail Hain. In a Hell in a Cell match, Davila versus Yvonne the Vicious One. And then we have a 6-woman tag team match. We've got Super Notchette and Sapphire versus Abbott and Frida. And then we've got, and they're all 4 of those are taking on Super Stevie and Tiny Titan. Then we have a no holds barred match, Cougar Knight versus Suhlkie. Another GM match there. Then we have a Falls Count Anywhere match, Tiffany Sky versus Wrestling Mama. 2 badass women going at it in that match. Then we've got our revolutionary chamber match, number one contender match. These 6 women all won their matches the last time we had a Thursday Revolution match. We've got Firecracker, Savannah, and Tatiana Knight, Rebel, Crusher, TNT Tammy, all going at it to be the number one contender. Then in our Snap, Nap, or Tap title match, we've got Lily Rage, your number one contender, taking on in her third title defense, Melina. And that is the Thursday Revolution match card. Now, some of the reason why some of these matches, Bubs, because she's sick, asked me to take over for her this week. So I am the one that set up your match card. Now, Abigail was in a match already. She was in a match on the 27th. That was the 27th of January. Come on, Eifer. Come on. Eifer. Now lay down and quit whining. Oh, y'all got to see my Eifer man. Yeah, there's my Eifer man. He's being a whiny baby. Yeah, look, you're on the internet. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're on the internet. Uh-huh. You're internet famous, Cypherman. All right, so Abigail was in a match on the 27th of January, but it was a battle royal. So I wanted to give her a basically a welcome to Thursday Revolution match. She is taking on my niece, Winter in. So that's why that match. Davila and Yvonne, that is just these two are vicious fighters, and I wanted to see them fight. That's why. The 6 woman tag team match, I wanted to give a lot of the ladies a chance to fight. So I figured, well, this gives 6 ladies a chance to fight, and it teams them up and let them see how they work together as teams. Cougar and Suhlkie, we've been having GMs fight. Well, this is a way of letting two of our GMs fight without getting Bubs and I involved. I didn't want to fight this week. I hate putting myself in matches, folks. I already told you about Tiffany and Mama. I just thought 2 badass women going at it. You know how we do the number 1 contenders. It's the winners of the week before going at it, and then your title match. So that's the reasoning behind those matches. Hey, Cowboy John, welcome to the show. How you doing, hun? All right. Let me give you the find Suhlkie. Here's what's going on in Murderous Matchup. First, our opening match, we have Cougar versus Estrella in a tables match, followed by Super Not Yet versus Bubs in a snap, nap, or tap match. Next, we have Papira versus Jill Grease in a 2 out of 3 submissions match. After that, we have Aaron versus Sapphire in a no holds barred KO match. After that, we have Emily versus Firestar in a KO match, followed up by Cassie versus Glamazon in a Hell in a Cell snap, nap, or tap match. With our final match of the night, Tequila versus Katie Nightwalker in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So there is your there is your murderous match card. So, and then Cougs, if she feels up to it, she will get us a Elite Men's Fury match card. But if she doesn't, hey, we'll just have that when we can. It may be March before we have our next Elite Men's Fury. Guys, be patient. Cougs is dealing with COVID and just does not feel good. So we will have that when we can. Okay? If she doesn't get me a show, what I may do is that we did not have the I'm going back and I'm looking here. The Midwinter Massacre pay-per-view, we didn't have the day 2 show, the one on Thursday. So what I may do then, is if Cougs does not get me a show, I may do that on Sunday. Have the Midwinter Massacre pay-per-view day 2 and do those matches on Sunday if Cougs doesn't get me a show. That way we do something on Sunday. So we'll just have to see how Cougs is doing. And it's no pressure on you, Cougs. If you don't feel good, I have something. If you feel like it, we have something. So, either way, we're covered. We have a show for Sunday. All right. So we will have a show on Sunday. It just depends on how Cougs is feeling. So no pressure on you, Cougs. we have something, if you're not up to it. So, that being said, if you want to call in and talk about EXW, please call in. The link to the studio is in the EXW chat. If you're not in the EXW chat and would like to have the link to the studio, please let me know how I can get it to you. I am not going to publish it out in the chat here on YouTube, but I will get it to you so you can call in. So I've got Riley on hold, and I will bring him in just a moment. But if you would like to be a part of the show, would love to have you on the show. And we could talk all things EXW. We can talk about any of the women's shows. We could talk about the men's shows, talk about your character specifically. Anything EXW is up for grabs, folks. So please call in and let's talk. And with that, Mr. Riley.
Yes, it is I. It is I. It is that RILEY promo. So nice. I have to say it twice. It's I. It's I. It's that RILEY. And I have arrived in EXW.
What? I can't hear now, huh? Hello, Riley. Welcome to the show. We're
good
glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Finally arriving here. Gonna turn this W in EXW, and it's gonna stand for Wolf when I get in the ring.
Well, that's big words there. You've got some pretty stiff competition in EXW with the men.
Heyo.
So that's some pretty big words to come in and say, because I hire the best.
And you got the best right here. Big word coming from the biggest mouth in the business.
I will have to agree with you there. You do have a big mouth.
And I back it up every time I get in that ring. Win, lose, or draw. I leave a mark on my opponent.
Well, I've watched you in LTD, and I was very impressed. That's why I offered you the contract. And so I was now you've not yet had a chance to wrestle in EXW. Hopefully, may not be this month. I mean, we only do once a month. I mean, that is the one thing. Sorry. Back is not cooperating today. That is one thing about our show. We do limit the men to a once a month. And Nacho, hold on, Nacho's here. I didn't get to sing for him before, so I have to sing to him now. Nacho man, we're proud you're here, Nacho man. He always gets a song, except for when I don't have a voice.
And that's Nacho for you.
Well, that song just fits. It's perfect for him.
Yeah, he is the head of the Legion of Dork, after all.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I need to sing for you now, Eifer? Eifer man. I love me my Eifer man. He gets jealous if I don't sing to him too. Did you see Eifer man? See?
I did.
Eifer man. The Eifer man.
What a cute little pupper.
Yeah, it's my Eifer man. He's my Velcro dog. Yeah. He's going to need prayers when I have my surgery because he won't be able to get up on my lap and he won't know what to do.
That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have surgery on my front and back, so he won't be able to get up on me because of my tummy.
Well, good luck.
Well, thank you. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, you've got quite a bit of. Well, let me see. Let me switch profiles on my PlayStation. I have to go about this. I could tell you who some of your talent, some of the talent you will be facing. It's a process. Switching
Of course it
users is a process. It's a pain.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But it works. It allows me to have two shows.
There you go.
Well, not shows, but two rosters, for one for the men, one and my one for the ladies. Because I don't know if you know who all you're up against here on the EXW roster. Nacho, you should call in. Hey, Dean and Joker, welcome.
I've scattered out, and just knowing the general connections with everyone, I have a sneaking suspicion of who some of my competition could be.
Yeah, well, one that most people haven't come up against is Gallery of Nuts. That's my manager's real life husband. Yeah, he only wrestles in EXW, only because I said he had to.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's Nacho's tag team partner.
Oh, well, me and Nacho have been in the ring before, and I don't remember who it was in our last one-on-one. So maybe we'll have another soon enough, and we'll see who the real better man out of the two of us was.
So
Draw a blank there.
are you calling Nacho out?
Why not? Let's run it one more time, Nacho. Without Radio Rex on my shoulder, just talking in my ear all these nonsense, I can finally appreciate my opponents in the ring.
Okay, hold on here. I have to open up a different uh, I'm having to open up a new notebook to keep notes on. So Riley versus Nacho. Nacho, do you want to set the Stips?
You're more than welcome to, Mr. Moron of Steel.
Oh, he even pulled down the sunglasses. Because I don't know if Cougs is still here. She may have already gone to bed. She sure does not feel good. But yeah, here's the roster. We have Andy Price, Beast, Blaze McCoy, Brandon Pickett, Brian LG, Brooklyn Joker, Clinton Cage, Count Zreifnock.
Ooh, my buddy Count.
You gotta love Count, unless he's blowing up your radio station. Yeah, he's done that. Cowboy John, Damian Adams, Demon King Robbie Ray, Drum Monkey, um, Flatline, Frozen Rage, Gallery of Nuts, Geralt, Hunter Davids, The Incredible Steve, Junkyard Dog, Lord Amadeus, Matt Outlaw, the Standish and Miles Stanley Ward, the Ward brothers, Mondo, Nightcrawler, Feeling Kill, Princess Billy May. Oh, you gotta love Princess Billy May. Quicksilver, only in special occasions, Radio Rex. Reaper, Redneck Avenger, that's my man. You, Ripper Springhill, Rob A. Matchett, Scottish Icon, Shadow Press, Shifty the Drunken Dragon Clown, Sir Dragon, Skull Wrath, Strike, Super Nacho, Texas Ranger, Uncommitted Hooligan, Walker, and Wally.
Well, that is quite an eclectic roster. I've been in the ring with a lot of them. I've been on the same roster as a lot of them, but others I have never been in the ring with and will love to eventually get to scrapping with once I get into this EXW ring.
Yeah, well, I know, like I said, you've never been in the ring with Gallery of Nuts, because, well, I don't know if he's even had a match yet. But, well, no, he's been in the Royal Rumble. But other than that, I don't think he's been in any matches yet. I mean, like one-on-one or anything like that.
Interesting. Got quite an eclectic roster.
Yes, it is. It is an eclectic rock. We got my man, basically my stepsons, Walker and Texas Ranger. Yeah, at least my ex-husband's not on here. Um, um, my basically my step nephew, Princess Billy May. Yeah, he's something else. Pretty much anything that's creepy, that's him.
Well, it may not seem like it, but I can get creepy with the best of
Um, yeah, you haven't met Princess Billy May yet. Um, maybe we should have you and him on a one-on-one. That would be fun. Anybody in a match with Princess Billy May is fun. Nacho, do you want to set the stipulations with your match with Riley? Other than, oh, okay. So wait, no, your tag team match was not Gallery of Nuts and Nacho versus, that was the Flatline and Demon versus you and Ripper, Joker. That was your tag match. Just a second, I will pull up. See, that's what this notebook is handy for. Um, because Death's Embrace. So I have to go. Now I have to go look at who's Death's Embrace. Uh, Death's Embrace is Flatline and Demon. That's who you had your match against. What type of match, Nacho? What type of match do you want against Riley?
whatever Nacho chooses. I will definitely be up for the challenge.
Glares at his mostly non-functional W key on his keyboard. Oh, that's funny. So, well, if you can't come up with stipulations, I'm sure Riley can.
I mean, Nacho already put a win stipulation. If I lose, then I have to go to his birthday. I'm down for that. If I win, I want your cape, Nacho.
Oh, Riley wants the cape. Ooh.
Both got something
Hey,
up for
Melanie
grabs.
Green, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
I got better things to do on my Saturday nights than to be at some man of what is the Legion Dork, whatever. His birthday. I don't want to be at Nacho's birthday. I got better things to do, but I want his cape.
Mm. Uh, Joker is calling out Count. Well, Joker, goddess. Oh my word. Um, Cougar takes into account what matches the people won't. So I will take notes for her. Count's not here. So what stipulation do you want? You can't have his cape. That's the onlyest thing his space parents gave him.
Now I want it even more. Oh no, wait a minute. No, no evil laugh. I'm done being evil.
I don't know. Doesn't sound like it. You're wanting his cape.
It's more of a prize thing.
First blood. I don't think we've had a first blood match. We've had blood, but we don't think we've had a first blood match. Yeah, that's one thing I'm disappointed about with 22. They're not going to let the women bleed still. I mean, they've had them bleed on TV. I know mostly it's by accident, but, you know, come on, let us women bleed. You
I can't
know,
really comment on
Becky Lynch bled bad. I mean, come on.
that. I mean, I don't think they were planning on that. That was just
No,
someone being a bad worker.
that was definitely not planned with Becky, but she sure did. She bled pretty good. Yeah. Did you? If y'all have watched the Stone Cold interview with her, they showed that, and I'd forgotten how busted up she gotten. She got busted up pretty good. Nacho, I hate to disillusion you, but we do all three. Yeah, we would have a whole lot of trouble if we didn't at least do two of those things. So so what are you most looking forward to about being an EXW, Riley?
Definitely more opportunity. Just get myself out there to the Digital Wrestling Syndicate. For a long time now, since my return out in the woods, all I was doing was LTD. So to finally expand into other promotions, show maybe someone that can't tune in to Blades' show every now and then, or misses my matches during the live streams, that they'll have more opportunities to see, the man of 1,000 faces. See what all 1,000 faces are really like.
So why are you the man of 1,000 faces? Explain that to us.
So that is a long story, but I'm going to whittle it down to, due to
Give us
traumatic
the
events past in my life, I was stuck in a mental hospital in Dudleyville where they diagnosed me with multiple personality disorder, and I couldn't stay towards one train of thought. I was one moment this person, the other moment that person. And somehow, I'm not going to explain, I got out of that mental institute and realized that the best way to express these 1,000 faces is through professional wrestling. Professional wrestling was built on characters, was built on larger than life personalities, and I got 1,000 of them up here. So to get them out in the open like that, you have seen all 1,000. A lot of it's been seen, not all.
interesting. So I'm just going to call you MPD then. Multiple personality
Yeah.
disorder.
I wasn't just
Actually,
in the mental hospital for that. I'm also quite slow.
actually, no, I'm not going to call you that. There is somebody else I call that. And yeah, no, I wouldn't dare call you that because, I don't want to associate you with him. Because Yeah, no, I don't like him. Riley should donation some of him's personality to people that doesn't got one.
I try. Trust me, I try.
Oh, Nacho, I love you. Nacho's the best. I don't know what I'd do without Nacho around. Oh, Jamar's out there saying hi to you.
As a
But
man, I haven't stepped in yet.
Jamar is not in EXW. I don't know why. We have room, but I don't know why Jamar is not in EXW.
Wherever you are, Jamar, however you are, wherever you are, one of these days.
Jamar, Riley's wanting you to fight. He's calling you out. Join EXW and take on the Wolf, the man of 1,000 faces. But but Nacho, you clean up the broken tables for us. And the broken, you eat the broken cages, the broken pieces of the Hell in a Cell, and I need you around. You clean up the broken ladders, and I don't have to have trash service because you and Stevie clean up all my trash. I need you. Riley is the man with the plan. And yes, Riley, you no longer have the Radio Rex logo on your shirt. I took care of that for you.
Radio
W-
Rex anymore. He has betrayed
w-
me. I will never stand by his side ever again.
So why did you stand by his side in the first place?
He offered me a job. Simple as that. I got
Was
passed
it
over in LTD.
was it all about the Benjamins?
It really was. I will definitely admit I am all about the money. You throw a couple dollars in my face, I'll do anything. As a famous shirt Atlantic City once said, I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Okay, so Jamar, what is the hashtag to download you? All right, Jamar's joining EXW. Finally, it's about time.
Here we go. Look at this sphere of influence that Riley will bring wherever he goes.
Should I change my Nikki name to Janitor of Steel? No, you should not. But hi Wally. I forgot. Wally, Wally, Wally. Wally is the best ever. I mean, I love Wally too. Because Wally is the best cheerleader a company could ever have. I love Wally.
You know,
Wally,
for a while, I didn't see eye to eye with Wally, but that was all the Radio Rex clouding my vision. I hated him because he did
okay.
justifiably eliminate Radio Rex, but now I'm all for him. Wally, Wally, Wally.
All right. I will talk to Blaze and I will get your character from Blaze, Jamar. All right, so Riley, there's another match. Riley versus Jamar. Jamar, why don't you set the stipulations? Since Nacho's not going to set the stipulations, Riley, what would you like the stipulations to be? Wally says you're cool, Riley.
Of course. Thank you, Wally. Thank you. You know what? Since he's so good at cleaning up tables, let's have a tables match.
All right, tables.
Big old fan of tables match. I used to run a promotion where we had a tables champion.
Oh, that's cool.
Innovation is my standard.
Well, do you like tables matches so much you want to have a tables championship for the men?
Maybe there's that. Bring it in almost. You never know. I would love a table
Because
champ.
if you do you have 2K19? No, I'm serious. Do you have 2K19?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
let you I'll let you design the belt.
There's one thing I'm good at. Most of my social media handles can tell you I'm very good at belts because there's a belt in my hand. I had to get my little nickname.
And you know what? Well, may you get that designed for me, and your match against Nacho will be a title belt, a title match.
That sphere of influence that Riley Wolf brings continues.
I have to clear that with Cougs first, since this is her show. But as long as she okays this, Jamar, you never did say what stipulation you would like for a match with Riley. See, this is why you need to come to Roundtable, folks. You never know what's going to happen on the show. We have another person in the studio, and here she is, Firestar.
Oh, what is up, everybody?
Oh,
Excuse my dog.
You made your pupper whine.
No, I didn't.
Your Hallie made them whine, right?
No, she's been crying all day.
Oh, what's wrong?
I don't know.
Oh, poor baby. How are you doing, Firestar? Oh, I'm not talking about you, Ice Man.
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am doing much better.
Good.
I have a voice. I don't feel like I'm dying. So yeah, I'm doing much better than I was a week ago.
Well, that's good.
Well, Jamar, Riley wanted to match with you. So I have a match with you against Riley. So we'll make that a submissions match.
He
Hey,
chose
Wally.
that.
Hey, John.
That's a little
Hey,
worrisome
what's up,
because
Nacho?
one of my signature moves I like to call the White Rabbit. It's an arm lock that will snap your arm in 3.
Uh-oh, Firestar Nacho says it's a school night. What are you doing still up?
It's still early for me, and I just had dinner.
Oh, so are you on the West Coast?
Yes.
I don't believe in time zones.
You don't believe in anything.
He does believe in belts.
Yes, I do.
Of course he does.
Because,
wait for it.
There are belts in my hands.
Ha ha, very
2 of
funny.
them. If I had a third hand, I would pick up my third belt.
There, I made it where we could see you better.
Thanks.
Well, that way when he holds up his belts, we can see the belts better.
Why'd you get those belts? A toy store?
These are the real deal. This one is even signed by the Nature Boy himself. It's about 20 years old though, so the mark is definitely faded.
Yeah, I can't really see it.
Yeah, you have to be in person. Ooh, it is really faded. Woo! Might have to see the Nature Boy again to get him re-sign it.
That's cool.
Yep.
Nacho says, does the White Rabbit come with tricks, or does we gotta supply our own?
Wrong rabbit. Wrong rabbit, Nacho.
Ron Rabbit, buddy.
You have to admit, that was a good one.
I had to think about it for a second. So, yeah.
Oh, that was a good one, Nacho.
For those that
Jamar,
are a big fan of Alice in Wonderland, they'll get the reference there.
no, his was a reference to the cereal.
I'm telling. Yeah, I know his references to the cereal. My move name is inspired from Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Ah.
Jamar says, I have a submission. I have a submission too. It called the Sand Crawler.
Well, we'll see if
Okay.
that is able to snap, tap, or nap me, Jamar. Did I get that right?
Yeah, snap, nap, or tap. Nacho said, woo, Nature Boy Buddy Lindell signed Riley's belt. Cool.
Wrong Nature Boy. Oh, is that really bad one that's on the indie scene? Oh my god.
Oh, here's a funny one for you. Gallery of Nuts and I went to an indie show in Oklahoma, and the main event, this guy comes out and he has this woman come out with him, and oh, it was so bad. It's supposed to be kind of like this cult following type gimmick, and he comes out and he's all dressed in black, and he comes out with this microphone and he yells whatever he's saying. He yells it into the microphone, and you can't understand anything he's saying. And he's all dressed in black, and somebody in the crowd starts yelling, Walmart taker, Walmart taker. And Gallery Nuts goes, they're right. It does look like a Walmart taker. This guy looked like he'd gotten his outfit from Walmart and was a knockoff of Undertaker.
Oh, you get a lot of that on the indies. People just trying to be like these big wrestlers when it's like, your career's going nowhere, brother.
But I mean, the whole gimmick and everything, though, it was bad. I mean, he would have been a whole lot more effective if he would have come out, and he had a deep voice. It would have been a whole lot more effective if he'd come out and just talked slow and very methodical with that deep voice and quietly. It would have been a whole lot more effective than come out and screamed at us. But yeah.
I mean, that's why he's on the indies and, not on a major promotion.
Yeah, and he couldn't wrestle very well. Now, the next time we saw him, they added a little girl to the whole mix, and that made it even creepier. I mean, that made it a creep factor of about 1,000. And the little girl was all dressed in white. I mean, it was like, ew. And I mean, she looked like she'd been drugged. Yeah. But he quit screaming at us. But he wrestled a whole lot better. At least he wrestled better that time. But yeah, it was. But the whole entrance and everything had a whole new creep factor with the little girl added into it. Yeah. So
that story reminds me that I'm quite the famous heckler. When I'm in the crowd, I ruin people. Like, I will have matches stop just because of how awful my heckling can be.
Oh, there was this one woman. There was the Von Erichs, the sons. Um, I can't think of their names right now, but I can't remember if they're Carrie or if they're Kevin's sons are wrestling as a tag team.
I think it's Carrie. You're talking about the
Yeah,
guys that are in MLW right now, Ross and Marshall.
yeah, Ross and Marshall. They were there, and this woman loved Ross and Marshall, and um, I can't remember who they were wrestling against. And this woman heckled them. Oh my word. And it was hilarious. I mean, she had them going. They were paying more attention to her than the match. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I,
When you have a
I mean,
small crowd, like you can pay attention to like one or two people, and it
oh
like
yeah.
spread through the entire crowd. Be like, oh wait, this is happening. This is crazy.
Well, this was just one woman and she had them going. Uh it was hilarious. I mean, it was just um oh, they're Kevin's kids. Um
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ross and Marshall are Kevin's.
Yeah,
One of them wrestles barefooted.
that
Um,
I think is Marshall.
they're good. They
Oh
remind me
yeah,
of they remind me of their daddy.
oh yeah, they're very good.
I was a huge Von Erichs fan. I loved to watch the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
Um, my uncle by marriage, his mom taught the Von Erichs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a little side note. But I my introduction to wrestling was watching reruns of WCCW, watching the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. That was my introduction to wrestling. Was watching them.
Oh yeah,
But
Von Erichs
uh,
made like quite an impact in their territory. When like territories were around, they were
mhm,
probably like number 2 or 3 behind like Memphis and New York.
yeah, yeah, they were something. Well, I mean, you had the Von Erich family. You had the Freebirds and the Von Erichs, and I mean, good grief, you couldn't beat that.
Yep. A perfect territory is a territory that has the perfect baby faces facing off against the perfect heels at the perfect time when wrestling was at its biggest territorially.
And it's a perfect storm.
Yeah,
It creates a
exactly.
perfect storm, and that was what WCCW was then. They had the perfect storm,
It did.
and and it wasn't just the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. They had some other great talent too,
Oh
but
yeah.
you when you had storytellers like them in the ring, it was great.
Yeah.
But it sure is sad what happened to the Von Erichs.
Oh yeah, it's so
That's a
heartbreaking.
family of tragedy.
Yep. I only pray that like Ross, Marshall, and I think what is it? Lacey was Carrie's
Lacey,
daughter. Yeah, that they get
yeah.
off scot free.
I hope they learn from their family.
Yes, exactly. That's the one thing that like you can do is learn off of the Von Erichs.
Yeah, learn from their mistakes. Um, Now Lacey also wrestled barefooted, if I remember correctly.
I don't think
Uh,
so. Not in
she
her
wrestled
not in her major promote. Not when she worked for
with
TNA.
TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, she worked for TNA for a little while. She wasn't there long.
No, she was I believe with the beautiful people for when she was there, and once that kind of fizzled out, they got rid of her.
Yeah, I mean, she was only there like a few months, if I remember right, because that was when I was watching TNA. Yeah, she wasn't there long at all.
Shows you that
Hey,
wrestling
Squid.
is not a gene pool thing.
No, not necessarily.
Could help.
Yeah, genes help, but talent takes you has to take you there too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Ross and Marshall. Um, uh, I saw them back at Oklahoma wrestle, and Lacey was on SWE Fury Wrestling or AWE. I've not heard
I
of
haven't heard of it.
SWE.
It's probably something either very obscure or something West Coast. Just because I only know like the Northeast stuff.
So how is your indie stuff going, Riley?
Well, my training is going good. I haven't hit any dates by any means, but I'm getting more and more comfortable with it. I'm now in my classes being asked to show an example. Like when we're doing, say, leg drops, they would ask me, "Hey, Riley, come in here and do a leg drop for us to show the rest of the class that doesn't know how to do a leg drop or don't know how to do it right, what to do right." So I'll come in, boom, do it right, get out, and I've become kind of top of my class, mainly on like just years of grinding because I there has not been a moment where I've stopped thinking about my journey in wrestling, even when I'm away from my gym, away from my training. There would be 3 month spells, 6 month spells where I'm away from the gym itself, but I'm still training in my backyard, wherever I can find a crash mat where I'm not going to, kill my body from bumping and rolling on. Um, Wherever I am focusing on this journey on being a pro wrestler. And that's what you need to do if you want to make it in the pro wrestling business is to eat, sleep, breathe, and just take in as much pro wrestling as possible.
Well, because Rage says, "Really, a crash pad? You wuss."
Lesson number one I got from the Amazing Red, who didn't know this one himself, is save your body. There's a reason Ric Flair wrestled well into his 50s, because he saved his body.
SWE is a small indie production. It's in Texas. That's what Rage and Wally said. Okay. Um, well, I'm glad it's going well for you. Can't wait to see you do. I know that Ghazi said he's got um, uh, some dates coming up that will be broadcast. So
Nice,
glad
nice.
glad of that for him.
Ghazi's
One of my
definitely a dream opponent for me. Just something that could happen here on the Digital Wrestling Syndicate and in an actual professional wrestling ring. That is a dream of mine to be able
That would
to
be
do
cool.
something like that.
That would be
Definitely.
cool. Um, yeah, I loved TNA. I loved TNA when it had the six-sided ring. When they brought in Hogan and what's his name? Um,
Bischoff.
Bischoff, and they brought back the four-sided ring. To me, they ruined TNA because that six-sided ring was um, what made TNA different and unique from other promotions.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely.
I loved that about it. Um, they had, the X division, and the X division was such a unique division in TNA, and they were so innovative. You know, look at what you had the Motor City Machine Guns, and look at what all they did. Petey Williams, um, he's still one of my favorites. Petey
Oh, yeah.
Williams and the Canadian Destroyer. Now, do you know how the Canadian Destroyer came about? Do you know the story behind that?
So there's conflicting evidence with a lot of moves around that time. a lot of people were inventing it all at the same time, because if you ask one person, they'll say Petey invented it. If you ask another, they'll say Amazing Red invented it. And there's actual video evidence of Red performing both his Code Red, which is a Sunset Flip Powerbomb, and the Pile Driver variant, which is the Canadian Destroyer, all the way back to like 1998 in his backyard with his cousins. So he's been doing it for so long, just all these acrobatic stuff. So again, I can only go from what I've heard from my trainer. If you ask someone that's probably around Petey's camp, they'll say, "Oh no, he invented it, and this is how he came about."
Well, do you know how Petey came about getting the Canadian Destroyer?
No, I don't have many Petey Williams stories. I have a lot of Amazing Red stories.
My understanding is the Motor City Machine Guns and Petey were playing a wrestling game, and that move was in the wrestling game. And they turned the machine guns turned to Petey and said, "I bet you can't do that." And he did. And that's how he came up with the Canadian Destroyer.
Okay, interesting.
That's the story I've heard.
They were all around in the same time, so who knows who really did. I always say the modern wrestling style wouldn't be where it is without Amazing Red, Low Key, and the Spanish announce team. Pretty much all of what you see on AEW Dark was invented by those guys.
Yeah, there a lot of great stuff.
And all those were TNA originals. If you go to the Asylum days, you're seeing AJ Styles, Low Key, Jerry Lynn, Amazing Red, and Spanish Announce Team all on the first TNA show, showing off all these insane things that they learned under such people. I know Red was under Mikey Whipwreck, and Mikey, like from the very beginning, was like, "That's insane," but they kept going with it.
Rage says, really, Low Key, I don't know if you want to add him into that list.
Despite how you personally feel about him.
Why don't you call in, Rage? Call in, Squid. Join the conversation. I know we've actually gotten off EXW, but I think we pretty well. Firestar, anything you want to talk about EXW before we get too far off the subject? Okay, Wally, what's your match for the men's show?
No, not really.
So, Rage just got home from work. I don't care. Call in. You know I don't care.
What I'll say about the Low Key situation is, despite how you'll feel about him personally, because, you know, he's a decisive figure or divided figure, like anybody on social media, when they open their mouth enough, you'll split people in two. I ignore all of that. Despite whatever somebody thinks outside of professional wrestling, I will never deny their contributions to the sport. As much as we recognize the Chris Benoit situation, we cannot deny that he was a pioneer of his style, of the mat technician style. That's why I'm only talking about the wrestler themselves and not, you know, who they are outside of the ring.
Yes, Jamar, you can come in and talk. Do you have Skype? Wally versus Cowboy John. And a cage match. Okay. Now, Wally, our cage matches are not escape matches. It's pinfall submission. Just so you know, I don't do escape matches. Don't like escape matches.
Escaping your opponent is for the weak.
So what do you think about the professional wrestling stuff, Firestar? What we've been talking about. You have anything to add?
No.
It's
No,
okay.
I don't.
Jamar, you haven't answered me. Do you have Skype? Oh, poor pupper. Mine took off. Ivor took off. He's over on the top of the stairs. Ace is on the recliner. Bria's in the kennel. Eden's with Gallery of Nuts. Yes, we have 4 dogs. There she is. I still
Hi.
love that hair. I love that haircut on you. It's so cute.
Thank you.
So much easier to take care of, isn't it?
Yes. Very much easier to take care of.
Whole lot less shampoo and conditioner too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rage says his issues with Loki deals with things he's witnessed. Well, call in and tell us, Rage. Come talk. I don't care if you just got off work. You wuss.
I think actually Rage, I've had a conversation with him. He has some prior history in the business as well. Again, I can't attest to anything that has happened to you personally, and if you feel a certain way, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm again just saying like I'm giving my opinion on him inside the ring, and I've had nothing but positive interactions with Loki. Like he's a regular at our school's monthly shows, and I've never had a problem with him.
Aw, puppy!
This is Eden. This is Gallery's Velcro dog.
Oh, he's so cute.
She's the little one.
Oh, I thought it was a he.
Nope, the only boy. Oh, I love you too. The only boy is Zypher. The rest of them were girls.
Oh.
What? All right, go see Dad. Usually she doesn't come up and see me. I call her, she goes to him. Like I said, that's his Velcro dog. Okay, Jamar, so how am I going to get the link to you so you can come in and visit with us? Because I'm not posting it in the chat. Do you have Twitter? Do I need to start singing the Jeopardy theme? You're such a good girl. You're drinking your water, and here I am drinking coffee. It's decaf, though. But I do have my water, though.
Ow.
But yeah, I loved watching TNA back when it was the good old, I call them the good old days, when it was the six-sided ring and um, all that, and AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and Sting and Kurt Angle, Booker T, all of those, all of the Motor City Machine Guns, um, Consequences Creed, Jay Lethal, all of Sanjay Dutt, um, Christopher Daniels, Curry Man.
Yeah.
He's hot. He's spicy. He's Curry Man. Yeah. EY, Eric Young, um, Shark Boy. Oh, I loved Shark Boy. I follow him on Twitter. Um, all of the ring announcer. What?
I'm
Trying to think.
blanking on
I
his
can't.
name too. Dave Penzer.
No, no, not him.
No.
Starts
Jeremy
with a B.
Borash.
Jeremy Borash. Yeah. Boy, he gained a lot of weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you look at him back when it was the highlight, the heyday of he was thin. You look at him now, he's like
Yeah.
ballooned up. I mean, big. Christy Hemme, yeah. Christy Hemme was great. Um, Homicide, and Hernandez and Homicide, um, Awesome Kong, Gail Kim. I've met Gail Kim. She is as sweet as could be. Um, okay. Um, DM me right there above your post is Nightbot where it just put my Twitter. DM me on Twitter and I will send you the link so you can join the studio. Okay, Jamar? But yeah, we went to a house show in Oklahoma City. Gallery of Nuts, myself, and Crusher. That's my daughter, our daughter. Um, and we ended up getting a backstage pass. And we met Abyss, um, Lethal Consequences, Jay Lethal, and Consequences Creed. So I've met Xavier Woods. Um, who all? Taylor Wilde. She's a little bitty tiny thing. I mean, she's short. I think my daughter was as tall as she was. Um, let's see. Who else do we?
Aw.
Road Dog. We met Road Dog. I was so excited about that meeting Road Dog. Um, who else was there? Um, he loves Santa Claus. Um, Huge Santa Claus fan. Had his own
Mick,
show. Mick Foley. Yeah, Mick Foley. That was great meeting Mick Foley. Um, um, and running around backstage. Um, was James Storm, and um, he was a heel, so he wasn't supposed to be. Um, he wasn't supposed. You it was you're only supposed to. You weren't. you weren't supposed to meet the heels, and but he kept walking around backstage, and so I cornered him, and um, we got our picture with him. Jamar, you're gonna have to message me. I can't message you. Um, but yeah, that was. You should have seen my daughter's eyes when she looked up and saw Abyss. Her eyes were about that big.
I mean, he's a pretty big dude.
He is a big dude, and he looked down at her and said, "What a pretty little girl." And she's like, her eyes were about to pop out of her head. Uh, it was great. That right there was that's one of the best pictures. Um, the referee that did the Montreal screw job,
Earl Hebner.
yeah, we met him. We got a picture with him. We got autographs with all of them on our. We bought the poster. That's the bill the uh has all the matches on it. Can't think of what it's called, but and they all signed it, and yeah, that was so much fun. But yeah, that was back when we went to one down in Lawton. And I had pictures of all of meeting Jeremy Borash, Curryman, Shark Boy, and a bunch of them. But my I didn't get them off my phone, and on the way home, my phone crashed.
Oh no,
I lost all the pictures.
that's a shame.
Yeah, I have a picture with you could get in the ring and get a picture with Samoa Joe, and we all got in the ring and got a pit, and that's printed out. You know, you paid $20, but it's a really good picture. It's a good quality picture, and so we paid $20, got in the ring, and that was when he was the champion.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was really fun. It was a lot of fun getting to go to those house shows, but that was back when it was worth going to. TNA was it was worth going to. It was a lot of fun. What? Yeah, it was. As Gallery just said, it was pre-Hogan, pre-Hogan and Bischoff, still six-sided ring. It it was it was fun. It was um, watching Hernandez. Um, that's right, wasn't it Hernandez uh, from LAX? Oh, Kaz too. Watching Hernandez and Kaz. Um, they they were there because they loved wrestling, and you could tell it.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you could tell they would be doing that whether the crowd was there or not. That's how much they loved doing what they were doing, and they were having fun. And um, see, suicide was another one that we've seen. But beer money, that was fun getting to see beer money. But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
yeah. It sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, James Storm pulled the lethal combination on Jay Lethal.
Wow.
That was fun. Yeah, that was cool. But getting
I
to
feel.
go backstage, that was really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my daughter was acting like a crazy person, and I saw I can't remember who it was, but one of the production people was going around giving out backstage passes, And I saw him doing that. And I told my daughter, I said, get up on the chair. She's like, no, no, no. I said, no, get up on the chair and they'll notice you and we might get a backstage pass. And she finally got up on the chair and got noticed and got the backstage pass. And I looked at her and I said, see, I know what I'm talking about. Mom does know what she's talking about. Nacho said the first show he took his son to was a TNA show, and he fell in love with Mickey James. Yeah, she wasn't in TNA at the time that we went.
See, actually, that could be equating to 2 times actually, I would say 3 times now, because TNA, Mickey James actually started in TNA before she even made it to WWE in around 2003, was kind of Raven's lackey. Then she had that second run after she left WWE, which I believe was like 2011, which is kind of Hogan's era, but kind of made her own. And despite all the terrible booking that the male has got, the knockouts obviously just to this day are like, if you go and watch Impact today, the knockouts are still the best part of the show. Um, and that's entailed because Mickey James is on her third run there, like being the standard bearer for modern women's wrestling.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think about the Royal Rumble with her wearing her knockouts belt to the ring at the Royal Rumble?
Oh, I was so happy for them. I was so happy for Impact to get that big stage to show off. Like, I think so many people probably saw that and thought, Impact, TNA, they're still around. Let me check that out. Or you got, oh, what's this other promotion? Impact? Oh, they've been around for 20 years. Why am I just hearing about this for the first time? It definitely gave them a lot of exposure, and I'm really glad that they were able to do that.
I was surprised they let her wear the belt to the ring.
I heard that she would only take the deal if she can come out with the title.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I was surprised that she got to wear the belt to the ring, but I'm glad. I know that when they billed her for the match, they did say that she was the TNA Knockouts title, and they did do that. But I was really surprised that um, that she did get to wear the belt to the ring.
It's awesome to see.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, back on the whole TNA stuff. Actually, speaking of Motor City, you were really bringing them in high regards. Um, you'd probably actually be happy to hear that this Saturday, our school, House of Glory, is putting on a show, and the I'm not sure if it's advertised as the main event, but it might be the main event. Loki is going to be defending his Crown Jewel champion against Alex Shelley.
Wow, great.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I liked watching the Motor City Machine Guns. They were always a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were the perfect blend of character and like that X Division style, because you could definitely say yeah, the in-ring work of the X Division in early TNA was second to none. But
Oh,
what they were
yeah.
missing a lot of the times were characters, and Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin were one of those first few X Division guys that still had character. And when they got together as the Motor City Machine Guns, they were untouchable when it comes to
And they
standard
let
bearers of
them
the X Division.
build their character and play their character out. They didn't suppress that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that was one thing that they did not. A lot of the X Division people, all they wanted them for was for the high flying acrobatic stuff they did. They didn't care about the character work. The machine guns, they didn't suppress that. They let the character show with the machine guns.
Well, I would say, like, when the machine guns are around, a lot of a lot of them were getting characters, but none of them really had commitment. Like, yeah, you had the Motors and Machine Guns and the Black Machismo, but then you also had, what was it, the Guru Sanjay Dutt? That just didn't really work. Like, he was, again, incredible in the ring, but he didn't really commit to the character, which is why he's probably not seen in as high regards as the Machine Guns, as Jay Lethal, as probably AJ Styles, I would say.
Jay Lethal really started to shine when he became the Black Machismo,
Yeah.
and they let and that Macho Man Randy Savage homage
Mm-hmm.
came out. Well, now when he was paired up with Consequences Creed,
Mm-hmm.
they worked well together and they had a great tag team and they really shined.
Yeah, I would say they could have been top of their tag team, top of the team, like rankings in TNA, if we had like kind of the character work of modern Xavier Woods in Consequences Creed back then,
Yeah,
because he was still trying to find himself. Because
yeah,
when you're young, you're still trying to find yourself in life, let alone in wrestling.
yeah. He was really young when he was in TNA,
Yeah,
just really starting out,
yeah,
and to watch how he's grown and developed from where he was into TNA to now has been really great to see.
yeah.
And I love to see where he is, where he's gotten to.
Yeah, he's gotten really good. Really good character work. He's in tremendous shape because as much as we don't want to admit it, wrestling is a body sport.
Oh, oh yeah, it takes a it. Well, as Diamond Dallas Page said when he was training, this fake shit hurts.
Yep.
I mean,
It
it
helps
is
to put on weight.
it is a demanding. It's demanding. I mean,
Yep.
you can attest to that.
Yeah.
It takes a heart. It takes a toll on the body. People do get hurt. Um, I mean, you look at the injuries people have had. Triple H has torn biceps and things, and I mean, freak accidents happen.
Yep.
Um, you know, ACLs, MCLs get torn. Um, muscles get torn off. I mean, you torn rotator cuffs, torn labrums, and then you know uh, it's you wreck your shoulder. It's easy to do that. You wreck your neck. Um, Real easy to do that if with a botched move. Um, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and it's demanding on the body, and you have to be in top physical shape to do what you, Riley, do and what wrestlers do.
Oh yeah, my back is killing me right now. Like over all the freak accidents and stuff, this like what we do really isn't natural, like for our bodies to be handling that much pain and pressure and slams and bumps. All that's really not entirely natural. So like eventually the body will give up on you. Like
Yeah.
if you look at John Cena walking down the street, he looks like an old man walking. And that's with probably only a handful of injuries ever.
Yeah,
Um,
he's been pretty lucky when it comes to injuries. You look at Miz. Miz has been extremely lucky. He's what only had the one injury.
Oh yeah, but like if you ask him like how are you feeling physically, he will probably not tell you, "Oh, I'm feeling good." He will probably say, "I'm hurt." Like after a grueling schedule of taking bums, not really doing
Hmm.
any house shows anymore cuz we're still kind of in that period where we don't know if house shows are going to sell out or not because of all this. I'm not trying to bring out any like current world news or nothing like that. I'm
But
just
it is a factor.
of course, um, and just that mindset in general is like oh, do we really want to go to a wrestling show? So I'm not even sure if WWE's back on house shows. I know obviously they're back on the road, and that's just as physically taxing. I travel about an hour and a half just to my school, and that's taxing on me. Imagine flying, driving hours on end. Majority of your day is traveling when it comes to the major promotions. And really, it's
Yeah.
only that small segment of like 15 to 20 minutes where it's the fun part. Everything else is all the boring and monotonous and stress inducing
The
and all that.
training, the
Yes.
the the working out in the weight room, the weights, the training, the spending time on the mat practicing the moves, because you have to practice them.
Yep.
Because if you don't practice them, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If you're not all too comfortable with the move and you do it, there's so much of a margin for error that you won't really be trusted in the ring if you're coming in like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about doing this, but I'll still do it. That stuff will get you just not booked. If you're not, training, you're not all that good. If you're still very green in the ring, you're not going to be trusted with a lot. You're probably not going to get a lot of bookings if you're still fairly green in the business. I'm not getting bookings yet, and I feel like I've gotten pretty good, but I'm only 2 years in. 2 years is really not even that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just all about practice, practice, practice. And like I was saying before, have this be your entire life. And if that sounds draining and daunting and scary and all that stuff, it's not for you.
Yeah.
The world unfortunately cannot change for just one person.
No, it can't. I mean, they're they're not going to change wrestling for you.
Yep.
Now, if it's something that affects everybody, they change it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. If it's something that negatively affects all wrestlers, hopefully they change that.
Yeah. But even then, you can't get a. I don't think you'll be able to get a 100% consensus that one thing or another is bad, especially nowadays when pretty much all of that happened already. We are in a state of pro wrestling where nothing is going to change really, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having that basically wrestling Disney and a whole lot of competition under it. I don't expect wrestling Disney to ever go away.
Yeah.
I don't expect unionizing to happen. Like just for the fact that wrestling is so diverse when it comes to so many other promotions that it'd be impossible to get like any unions going, because you also have so many governing bodies and all that stuff.
Um really though, it would be hard to get a union because there's so many different promotions.
Exactly.
Um it's not like um everybody's under the WWE. If everybody was under the WWE, it would be easy to get a union.
Mm-hmm. And
Or if
it
there
go on.
or if there were like just two or three major companies that everybody kind of fell under, it would be easier to unionize, because if like everybody kind of branched off of two or three companies and kind of fell under, then those under one, everybody under WWE could unionize. Everybody under TNA could unionize. But there's there's so many companies that are not affiliated with anybody. They're not going to unionize. They can't really. There's not enough power behind it to do it.
Yeah. One other thing also that I think will ever stop, that will make sure that unionizing will ever happen in wrestling, is the fact that there's a very small percentage of professional wrestlers that are doing this for a living. There are so many other people that like when I'm leaving my training, a lot of these guys are going to their day jobs. Like
Right.
wrestlers have day jobs that they have to fulfill, and that's where they get their health benefits. That's where they get their retirement. That's where they get whatever they need that a union would give in pro wrestling.
Yeah, not everybody is part of WWE. WWE, they get those benefits.
Yeah, and it's all about when it comes to signing to those major promotions, it is um, all about the contract negotiation part. If you think you're big enough and you're valuable enough, you can actually ask for health benefit. You can ask for health insurance. You can ask for this and that. There were a lot of wrestlers that were, the WrestleMania main eventers we know, like the faces of WWE, that were under the same was under WWE's health insurance. So it's all about just negotiating your contract properly. We're independent contractors because we have to negotiate our own contracts.
Right.
We're not under a union that is going to promise these benefits, but we're under our own kind of umbrella to, be able to say, if you're not meeting my benefit, if you're not meeting my requirements to be a part of your company, I don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah. That's why I say y'all don't have that pull.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, when you're big enough to have that pull, then you'll get it. If you're willing to work towards that, again, there's only 5 big faces of pro wrestling that there's ever been since the big wrestling boom of the 80s. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Austin Rock, Cena, Rock. So I counted 7 there. With small exceptions you can make for Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins is getting there now, but yeah, there's
Brock
only
Lesnar.
I said Brock, but yeah, there's with 7 people that have been the biggest of all time. In that same span of time, there have been over 1,000 wrestlers that have come and gone, more than 1,000 probably.
Yeah.
That have come and gone. That had that same dream that I'm gonna be the next Stone Cold, I'm gonna be the next Hulk Hogan, I'm gonna be the next John Cena, and it just doesn't happen for everyone.
Exactly.
So don't expect to, I wouldn't say expect to get on their level. Hope for it. What is it?
Not everybody can be a Stone Cold Steve Austin. You've got to have mid Carters. You've got to have the curtain jerkers.
Yep.
But not everybody can be that main eventer.
Yeah. There was an expression I heard once that really resonated with me. It was like, expect the best, but prepare for the worst.
Right.
Most likely, you're not going to be the next Stone Cold. You can
try.
Definitely hope. Yeah, you can try and hope for it and get that spirit and attitude that Stone Cold brought when he was trying to become the next Hulk Hogan. But make sure to prepare for the big possibility that's not going to happen. There are hundreds of professional wrestlers right now in an age where it is so easy to become a professional wrestler. It is the easiest right now to become a pro wrestler. You know how I started my pro wrestling journey? I showed up to a school, gave him money, and said, I'll be back on Tuesday. And that was it. There was no process of, okay, go through this, and that. I just showed up, and it was up to me to keep coming.
It was up to you to put in the work and pay your money.
Yep. But if it's not easy for me to get in there, it's just as easy for anyone else. Some other schools have different requirements. Some do have an application process. Some do have a situation where they're only going to accept the top athletes. The WWE Performance Centers is holding tryouts and will only give contracts to those that meet their requirements and their status quo. But it is so easy. All you have to do, get on Twitter, get with the right people and the right connection, and you could be booked on AEW Dark within 6 months.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that easy.
Yeah, it's pretty. Big AEW star right now, Joey Jannah, never had a day of training in his life. And made it to right now the number 2 in America. There was this guy that was doing like videos of him jumping on barbed wire and stuff. He got booked for an indie show. All you have to do is get enough buzz, and you can do it. You can, with the right people and the right buzz, you can get on a wrestling show. It's very easy to be a pro wrestler right now. Doesn't mean most should.
Right.
I think most of the people that are wrestlers right now, again, aren't going to make it. And, they should appreciate the 5 minutes of fame they're getting. And I'll appreciate my 5 minutes of fame if it is just 5 minutes of fame.
But it's 5 minutes. You got it.
Yep. See where I go from there.
Which promotion would you most like to be on?
Honestly, there's no promotion right now that I entirely see, okay, for a fact, I want to go there. One, it all depends on how I grow as a pro wrestler. Two, it depends on who else is in the promotion and, who's in charge and all that stuff. Three, it just depends on whether I think I'm ready. And that is a combination of speaking with my head trainer, speaking with friends of mine to see if I'm ready to get that spotlight of a major television broadcast and thousands of fans, thousands of people watching me and possibly scrutinizing me. NWA, I would say there are some promotions I have on my eye. NWA is one of them. I would love to be a part of that because there are so many people that were in other promotions that were such wasted talent that I would love to just get in the ring with and pick and just be backstage and pick their brain. The best part of pro wrestling is the learning aspect. So if I want to learn the most, I'm going to go to NWA. When it comes to the buzz, I think out of the major promotions, I think Impact, has the kind of good balance of like internet buzz and good enough booking where I'll be comfortable with like not being stuck on some kind of mid-card show for months on end.
I love you, Nacho.
Denny's is always a preferable choice for us wrestlers.
Don't let them scrutinize you without dinner and a movie first.
I didn't have to think about that for a second.
It's the way he spelled scrutinize, though.
Yes. What else? I'd love to tour outside of the U.S. Obviously, New Japan is a very big that would be awesome kind of thing because I'm a big New Japan fan. But just Japan in general. Red has already told me about a lot of cool stories in Japan. So I'm prepared for Japan. What else? But Mexico, maybe. Mexico would be fun. Very, scary, but, that'd be cool. I'd love to get to the UK. Why is that
scary?
Because Mexico's a third world country. The wrestling itself is going to be really cool. Traveling, I'm a little weary about. But yeah, Mexico, that's a big wrestling capital, so I'd love to do that. I'd love a European tour. I love the European style. So again, just to get in the UK or like into the lesser known European wrestling scene. You don't really hear Germany when it comes to mainland Europe, and that's all you hear about. I'd love to see what the Italian wrestling scene is about, what the Austrian wrestling scene is about, what the Spanish wrestling scene is about, just all that kind of stuff.
If you go to Japan, you've got to be prepared for Godzilla attacks.
Godzilla isn't real, Nacho.
Don't no. Leave him alone, Firestar. Go do your
What?
homework.
Oh, that reminds me of one scene from Austin Powers. I think it was the third one, Goldmember, where Austin drives into this like Godzilla float, and it's two Japanese guys going, "Run! It's Godzilla!" The other one comes. It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright, it does not. Still, we should run like it is Godzilla, but it isn't.
But be prepared if you go to Japan for Godzilla attacks.
I will not, Joe.
Hey. Would you ever want to be in something like AEW or WWE?
See, well, WWE is the end-all be-all. Big E said it best. If you're not in the wrestling business to be the WWE champion or the main event of WrestleMania, you're in the wrong business. So obviously that is definitely a must go. AEW, I'm not all too sure about, just because like their booking of young talent is quite sloppy. Really, if you look at the main event scene, the only person they've really made is Adam Page, and that's just because he's buddies with the booker. It's the old call thing. Oh, you're only putting your friends over.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine, kind of thing.
Yeah,
going on.
That's what I see of AEW, and a lot of the inexperienced guys, a lot of guys that aren't ready for TV, like a lot of guys that aren't just up to par with it. Like they're getting that presentation that AEW is given because the money is there. They're able to show that presentation to them, or show that presentation about them to make it look like they're a wrestling star. But when they get in the ring, they're just really not ready for it. And I don't want to be seen as that guy from the vets that, oh, he's just an AEW because he's buddies with Private Party, or he's buddies with this guy and he's buddies with that guy.
If you go to A&W, make sure you get free root beers and hamburgers as part of your contract.
I'll definitely figure that out into it.
Oh, Nacho. What would we do without you?
My desk.
Well, that's pretty interesting, Riley. Some things definitely would not have thought about. Definitely some interesting perspective.
Oh, yeah. You definitely gain a certain perspective when you're around the wrestling business and you're around certain people in the wrestling business that have seen the evolution. Like you can be around guys that have been here 5, maybe even 10 years, but it's such a different perspective from somebody that came in the late 80s or late 90s, and it was pre like this modern indie style. I'm basically trained under the guys that made the modern indie style to get their perspective on it. It makes me think about wrestling in a certain way and where I want my career to go.
Right. Yeah, it's completely different now than it was almost even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's always changing. And it should be changing.
I wouldn't agree with how it's changed now, but it's up to me to change it in the way I want.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, you don't want things to grow stagnant.
Yes.
Stagnation is not good. So if things aren't
Heroes.
changing, that's not good. So, you would always hope for evolution to be happening within the industry. And if
Oh
it's
yeah,
not,
never.
if there is no evolution within the industry, then you need to take a look and say, what can I do to help?
Mhm.
Hey, Rose, glad you're here. Uh,
Yeah, I see your point there. In the aspect of I don't personally agree with where it is right now, but as I said before, that's kind of up for me to again change the wrestling business to where I see it fitting, kind of taking what was really good about the old and really good about the new and kind of mixing it together to create this whole new environment and whole new style professional wrestling that
right.
takes the good from all eras of pro wrestling, puts it into this new era.
I like what Nacho just says. Ask your teachers why they still call it a finisher when everyone kicks out of it and it never finishes a match.
Oh, Red hates that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We are of the school of protect your finish. Of if your stuff gets kicked out of too much, it's not a finish anymore. Um,
oh, that's good to hear, Rose. Glad that his dad got a negative test.
hey, yeah,
His Silver Eye's dad had COVID, and he got a negative test. So Silver Eye's going to be back from taking care of him. Well, good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, the whole a finisher, not protecting a finisher is that's something that has annoyed me.
mhm,
Exactly. If it's a finisher should be protected.
yep,
And occasionally somebody kicking out of a finisher is great for the the gasp effect. They kicked out.
yeah.
But
You
all
can
the
only go
time,
to that well so many times,
exactly.
and you can get that
You know,
reaction from other things. You know,
yeah,
by pulling out a new move and it kicking out. There's
yeah,
so many
but
other different ways. I know personally in my career, I when I know it's my finisher, I'm protecting it at all costs. And when it does get eventually um, stale and stagnant and has been kicked out too much, I'm gonna create a new finisher.
um, you know, eventually somebody's going to kick out of a finisher. It's you can't have it should happen at some point. Somebody kick out of a finisher um, for that shock effect. You know, um, and it should be. I think it should be used for somebody to introduce a new, better, or a modified version, or a better finisher or something. But it's but always there's so much not protecting the finishers now that it's just ridiculous. And look, you have a new super fan
Hey,
Nacho!
oh, what's up? Yeah.
asking he shall join. It is Super Nacho Man.
First time I've been on air that wasn't Legion of Dorks.
I'll be
The
right
first time
back.
for everything. Look at that. Making
Again.
history. All from the influence of Riley.
Do your homework.
Shut up.
I am going to mute again just a moment, folks. I didn't want y'all hear me screaming in pain in case, I screamed in pain. Um, Shifting around is not necessarily a good thing for me right now. So, yeah, if you didn't know, Riley, I have a herniated L5S1 disc and the vertebrae are sitting on top of each other.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, the surgery I have to have is a 360-degree fusion.
Jesus.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm pretty messed up right now. So, yeah, moving is not necessarily a good thing. So,
Well,
ooh, snack.
definitely keep
So
you in my prayers.
I appreciate it. It's probably
Same.
gonna be about a month before I can have my surgery. So, yeah, fun times. Thanks, COVID. COVID postponed my second back surgery. Now it's keeping me from having my third. Yay, fun. You gotta love diseases, don't you? Said with all sarcasm intended. So, Nacho, how are you?
I don't know.
Wave. There's gallery. There was gallery of nuts behind me.
Yeah, so
Nacho
Wait,
waved at you.
this
Your
chair.
tag partner. What?
Have we actually tagged?
Not yet. But you made it on camera.
I've
So
definitely been told I dress like a wrestler. If y'all actually peeked, I'm currently wearing American Zubas.
nothing wrong with that. So Nacho, what do you have to add to our conversation?
absolutely nothing.
Very nacho of you.
Well, we were talking about finishers.
Do they even exist anymore? I mean, everybody kicks out of everything.
When I show up to a match, they're gonna exist in my matches.
So what's your finisher, Riley?
You'll see on EXW that it is a Kimura DDT, which I call the head case.
The Kimura DDT. Well, I don't know what the Kimura DDT looks like. So
It's basically Andrade's Hammerlock DDT.
okay.
It's kind of like that, but positioned in a Kimura, which is what Brock's finish, what Brock's submission is. So I'll lock in the Kimura from a standing position and sweep the legs out, and they'll land in a DDT.
Okay.
And if they don't stay down from that, I hold on to the Kimura and I keep it locked in, and that's the White Rabbit. Because I'm not the biggest guy, so I know I'm not going to be a power guy. So I got to find a way to do an impact move while still not, straining myself.
Right.
Like the
Now,
other day we were doing power
Use lots of
moves.
punches to the groin. Lots of punches to the groin.
My strikes are terrible. I'm very much a grappler. Like straight up, if I get in the ring, I'm grappling most of the time. I'm grappling and bumping. That is my quota in matches. A lot of grapples, a lot of I'll jump off of stuff. So I'm a little bit of a nut when it comes to jumping off of stuff. I don't flip. I just jump off. So yeah, I'm kind of more mat-based wrestler with occasional jumping off of things. I don't want to say high flyer because that insinuates flips, which I hate. I get very disoriented when I even like get close to a flip, so I stay away from that kind of stuff. Like the other day, we were doing
Flips are
tilt-a-whirl head
overdone
scissors.
anyway.
They are definitely, yes. We were doing tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Like it's, and then I would just get so disoriented being like just spun around because you're really not doing much. When it comes to most of those flipping moves where it's very lucha based, the guy taking is really doing a lot of the work, which is why I don't like it. I like to be in control when I'm doing a move. Unless there's like kind of King's Road style where one move leads into another, which leads into another over the course of a match. I lost my track. I forgot what I was going to say. It's getting pretty late for me, actually.
Jamar says, AKA Ricochet.
I mean, Ricochet has his own way. He has his way of doing it. I don't think, with the right person, he's pretty good. I think flips for the sake of flips is not very good, but Ricochet kind of finds a way to make it
I love
so
Ricochet.
he's not too overdone.
I have enjoyed watching him since Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm. What helps him is innovation. And what just helps any wrestler stick out is innovation. You don't want to be that guy that just has half of Triple H's moveset, half of The Rock's moveset,
Camera.
and you do Stone Cold's finisher. If you do too much of others, you are going to blend in, and whenever you're doing their move, they're just gonna immediately think of that other person. Like anybody that does a stunner, what's your first thought that comes to mind? Stone Cold.
Stone Cold Steve
Exactly.
Austin.
Mikey Whipwreck.
True. He did invent it. But Stone Cold made it famous, unfortunately. Trust me, Mikey's my theoretical grandfather when it comes to the training stuff, because Red was trained under Mikey, and I'm trained under Red, therefore, like, there's kind of a wrestling family tree going up to Mikey. And even to Mick Foley, technically. Because Mick Foley had a big hand in training Mikey Whipwreck.
So that's your great grandfather.
I mean, you can kind of say that. But
all right,
yeah, make sure to make things your own. Like if I did just a straight up hammerlock DDT, people were going to immediately think Andrade, because he's the guy that's made it famous right now. So I have to put my own twist on it. I have to make sure that the hand placement and the facials and the body language are very different from when Andrade does it. Like when I do it, I look like a crazy person.
You put your own twist to it.
Exactly. Or, the Kimura is Brock Lesnar's submission, but I'm going to put my own twist in it. I'm going to make sure that I look different, that my body language is so much more different than Brock's. Obviously, we're two completely different body types as well. That helps. But I'm going to make sure that...
Well, to be fair, Brock's like 4 of you.
3.5.
Question for you.
What's up?
I don't know about Nacho and Firestar. I assume you, Riley, have been watching WWE with Brock since he's come back. What is your take on how his character works since he's come back? You like it? You don't?
Comeback is in this past year. Right?
Yeah, since he's come back after his absence, what do you think about how his character has been compared to in the past?
Oh, it's been so entertaining. That's what I think a lot of wrestling right now is missing entertainment. They're thinking, oh, I just have to be the best athlete and do the best flips and do the best spots, have the best falsies. That's going to be the most entertaining. No, it's not. It's going to get boring after a while. It's going to get exhausting. You have to be entertaining. You have to have that natural charisma that comes out to you. And surprisingly, Brock Lesnar has it.
I know. They're actually letting him do character work. And it's been hilarious.
Actually have a personality.
When he came out for the weigh-in, and he just he was all dressed in street clothes, and it was hilarious. And he gets up there, and he's probably 10 pounds worth of clothes. He's probably the same weight as Lashley, but he weighed 10 pounds heavier, and that was all clothes. But it was funny. Him coming out in the overalls and the flannel shirts with no sleeves. Gallery of Nuts said he should have wrestled like that. That would have been hilarious if he had wrestled like that.
Yeah.
Did you know WWE is selling the flannel shirts in the shop?
Wow.
Oh, of course they are.
But it's great because it's going off of the gimmick, and I love it. But I love that they're actually letting him be more of a character. Excuse me, I have got to blow my nose.
I think what definitely helps is the fact that he is enjoying what he's doing. You can, in the past, you can tell when Brock Lesnar really wasn't enjoying what he was doing. Like with the Dean Ambrose stuff. Who else was really Triple H, CM Punk. There were a lot of duds Brock Lesnar's track record when he made that initial comeback from UFC, because he was bored.
When he had the Money in the Bank. When he had the Money in the Bank briefcase, and he was pretending like it was a boombox. That was great. He showed character with that, and this is reminding me of that. He's having fun, and you look at him, and you're like, he wants to be there. Before when he left, honestly, I don't think he wanted to be there.
Yeah, there was a spell where you can tell that he was really only there for the money. Though I will make an exception that his Royal Rumble appearance when he was in the Rumble as champion, that was very good. That was very entertaining.
When he came out, was that when he came out number 1 and eliminated 13 right off the bat.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
It's that unexpectedness. You weren't expecting, this is going to slow down eventually.
And it didn't.
It didn't. It didn't until...
It did eventually slow down, but he eliminated the first 6 or 7, and it was just him in the ring. It did slow down, but he did eliminate 13. Just right,
one after another.
Yeah, but after about 7, it did start to slow down, and more people got in the ring, but he was still tossing them out at a pretty good rate even after that.
Enough of a rate where when he got eliminated, there were only 2 people in the ring, and they were up to number 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty incredible. I mean, it was incredible to watch and see. I mean, I think he set a record with that at that Rumble, with most men eliminated in a row or something like that.
Yeah, well, he tied for all-time eliminations in one Rumble, and he created, he didn't create a new record, but I think he just trampled the last person that got most eliminations in a row. I think the last person that got the most eliminations, the closest was 7 in a row.
Yeah, and he had 13, I think.
13 in a row.
Yeah, it's almost half the Rumble right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. But
You know,
yeah, he tied for the most in a Rumble, which was Kane, I believe.
No, Braun Strowman is the greatest. He has the most eliminations in a single 30-man Rumble, which they can say. Because Braun eliminated 13 in a 50-man Rumble.
Okay. Yeah, they
But
pretty well just kind of don't even. It's like that doesn't even exist in the records. They kind of just don't even
yeah,
look at the
they're
50
trying to
man.
replace those records that were set in the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
you know, and they created that belt for him after he won that, and you never saw it again.
Saudi experiment has definitely been interesting, to say the
I
least.
mean the greatest Royal Rumble was fun, but I'm honestly glad we haven't done it. They haven't done it again. Now,
Yeah,
question: what do you think about them doing the elimination chamber at wherever that is?
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
I don't think they should be going over there at all.
I mean, again, you can't really get into that without getting into just like the general political atmosphere that it brings. They're making money off of it. Like, I definitely understand why it's happening. I I don't have any personal I don't have any personal like stand on it. I just like that wrestling is getting seen on quite the grand scale. Like we're instead of getting one stadium show a year, not only because Saudi Arabia's money, but like just the Saudi shows in general, we're getting 5, 6, 7 stadium shows a year. That's a lot of people at once watching wrestling. Like 60, 70,000 people in one venue watching wrestling. I love that. I love that so many people can watch wrestling at once, and a lot of that you can thank on the fact that WWE's getting millions of dollars from Saudi Arabia. Are they ethical? Pretty much no one with that amount of money is ethical.
True.
Like Disney, I just name a multi-million dollar corporation. They'll have some skeletons in their closet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very interesting look. The Elimination Chamber, like as an arena, has never looked like it's going to look like at the show. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that the chamber wasn't, somewhere close so I can see it because I think, have I ever even seen a steel cage? I don't think I've ever seen like a cage. I've never been to a wrestling event where there's been a crazy stipulation. Actually, no, I tell a lie. TLC. I was at the Shield's first match, the big TLC match with Team Hell No and Ryback, I think.
I've only been to one WWE. I went to NXT Takeover right before the Royal Rumble down in San Antonio, and those are the only two WWE events I've been to, and that was fun. The Royal Rumble, the NXT Takeover was a lot of fun. Royal Rumble was great. It was going to that was great. I would love to go to another Royal Rumble again. Um,
Well, Rumble's
the
fun live.
hubby Gallery of Nuts wants to go to a Survivor Series.
Survivor Series is all right. I think it's modern kind of style. I don't like. I thankfully went to a Survivor Series when it was good. When it was back in 2011. It was the one that CM Punk won the WWE title from. I actually have a plaque of it up there. Yeah, when he won that title for the second time and had that big 400-day reign, it was that Survivor Series I went to. And that's the one that The Rock came back to. I think, yeah, it was his first match back.
Now, if I was in Oklahoma, I would want to go down to WrestleMania because that would be probably the only time I would probably get to go to WrestleMania because it's just a 3-hour drive down to Dallas. And that would probably be the only time we could have managed it. The hubby, Gallery of Nuts, is a tax accountant. And it's really not a good time of the year when they hold WrestleMania.
Yep.
Because, yeah, he's right in the middle of busy season.
Yep. My father works in the tax business, so I definitely know.
Yes, I'm a tax widow. The significant others of people who are tax accountants call it we're tax widows. So yeah, WrestleMania is not at the best time of year for them to go, but that would have been the best time for us to go if we were still living down in Oklahoma. But yeah, that would have been fun. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I really would not mind going back to another Royal Rumble. That was a lot of fun. But yes, we that was the year that there were two potential spots for riots. If Ty Dillinger had not come out at number 10, and if Roman Reigns had won, because he came out at number 30. That he lost his title match, and then he came out at number 30. And the crowd was not happy he came out at number 30. And if he would have won the match, I believe there would have been a riot. Because they were really were not happy that he came out at all in the Royal Rumble. But if he'd won it, ooh, yeah, it would not have been good. But yeah, it would not have been good if Ty Dillinger had not come out at number 10. Because I don't think he was advertised to be in the Rumble, but everybody knew he was going to be in the Rumble. You know, it's one of those. Yeah, he's going to be there. One of those. Sorry, I had to. One of those kind of you don't know, but you know they're going to be there.
Yeah. Fun fact about me is since 2011, which is over 10 years now, I have not gone a single year without going to a wrestling event since 2011. And since December, I've been to a wrestling show every single month at this point. Actually, wait a minute. I think I can spread out the monthly thing. If we're not including, when we weren't even allowed to leave our house, I was going to shows monthly for accumulatively about a year. because I work a lot of the House of Glory shows that I'm a part of.
Right.
So yeah, there has not been a month where I have gone without being around a wrestling ring. And I've even averaged 2 shows last month, I think. Because I had our women's tournament for House of Glory, and then my father bought us some Raw tickets.
Yeah, we were talking about going to Raw that was in Milwaukee not too long ago, but it just the cost was prohibitive.
If you ever get to go to a modern WWE show nowadays, they have made it a lot funner to like just be around for it. Like they implemented a lot of sports stuff. Like they have a lot. Hey, we'll put you on camera if you we'll put the best dancers on the camera. Let's hear some noise for these people. Let's see some tweets from you guys. They've made it very like sports like, which I'm really happy about.
Oh, poor pupper. Yeah, well, that's good that they're making it more interactive.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, I had fun at the Royal Rumble, and we were gonna try to go to the Raw that was up here. But like I said, it was just cost prohibitive. If it wasn't cost prohibitive, we would have gone. We also wanted to go to the AEW that was up here, and again, cost.
I wouldn't think AEW's tickets are going for too much.
Well, at the time that it was here, and when the tickets went on sale, and by the time it just wasn't in the cards for us to buy the tickets to go. For where we wanted to sit and everything, it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I could understand that it probably is getting more expensive nowadays. The tickets for AEW, because they're becoming more and more of a household name. I remember when All In was getting announced and they said tickets were going to start at $20. It's like, wow, indie show. It's a very indie thing to do. Hey, we're starting at $20. We all got spare $20 and let's watch a wrestling show kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean the $20 tickets were in the nosebleed, and we really didn't want to sit in the nosebleed.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So we just it was not something that we could do. But yeah, sometime. Maybe sometime. Nacho, have you been to a show besides
Several.
TNA?
Let's see. I was at the Royal Rumble that Ric Flair won the title. That was in Albany. I was at the very first WrestleMania, though I don't remember a whole lot of it other than sitting on my dad's shoulders and You know, that was the day that I realized my dad wasn't the biggest guy in the world because we met Andre.
Oh,
And he shook my dad's hand, and it was like me shaking a baby's hand.
wow.
So that like shattered my whole world at like 8 years old.
But it did.
I have
Both of those shows and like some of the local indies I've gone to, but I haven't gone to anything in a long time though.
I have an Andre story for you.
Oh, nice.
On Saturdays in Amarillo, this is where Gallery of Nuts grew up. They had wrestling show, and there was a tag team that had Andre the Giant escort him to ringside, and so he was sitting at ringside. They were wrestling some I don't know remember which tag team he told me it was, and they were wrestling some no-name tag team. And Andre sitting at ringside on a folding chair. Now imagine big old Andre sitting on a regular folding chair. And he's just sitting there on the folding chair. And so one of the opponents ended up outside of the ring and landed right in front of Andre. Andre stood up, the guy looked at him and flat-footed jumped up into the ring over the top rope. I mean, he got the bejesus scared out of him. Nacho has a wrestler that lives close to him.
Really?
Yeah, he just posted that.
Rage means himself.
Yeah. I see a putty tat. And who's the putty tat? Catzilla?
Her name's Canonio, but we call her Catzilla because she's so damn big and she knocks everything over.
Oh, what's her name again?
Canonio. It's Mohawk.
Canonio.
It means fancy dancer.
Canonio.
It's my favorite powwow dance from going to the powwows when I was a kid with my dad. Because when I first got her, when she was a kitten, she would jump around and when she was playing, and it looked like she was dancing. So
well, here's Eifer right here. Eifer's right here. Yep. Dad went to bed, so he thinks it's time for him to go to bed. Bed is underneath my blanket. So,
going back to the whole living next to a wrestler in New York City, you cannot throw a stone without like hitting like 3 wrestlers. Like just in my neighborhood. You ever heard of a Jigsaw, who's a Chikara wrestler?
I haven't.
Yep. I used to love Chikara.
He literally is in my neighborhood. Like my stepfather is like childhood friends with him. And yeah, just how big New York City is, like you can walk into a wrestler and just be like, not even know either. Like a lot of them just blend in when they're in normal clothes. Like I have this funny story. It's not really walking into someone on the street, but it's more just like how wrestlers can really blend in if they want to. I was working our first House of Glory show back, and Will Ospreay is in the main event against Amazing Red, and he's doing meet and greets, and he has the title with him, but he's in street clothes. And I'm, doing my security stuff, getting people to their seats and stuff, and I'm just walking by, and I just see somebody just walks by, and then I see a camera following this guy. I turn around, I see the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion on this guy's shoulder, and realize, wait a minute, that was Will Ospreay, like just looking totally normal with a belt in his hand. It's crazy, and I think that happened to me 3 times that show. That Will Ospreay was just in normal street clothes and passed by him and didn't even realize that was him because he just looked like a normal person. But then when he comes out in the show, he's got all the belts, he's got the jacket and stuff, he's larger than life and all that stuff. So yeah, wrestlers can definitely be deceiving.
Well,
Yeah.
especially nowadays, now that they're not all big, giant muscle mountains. You know, a
Yeah,
lot of them look
you're
like
right.
you know, like smaller dudes are more common now than the big muscle heads.
Yeah. I would say to the detriment of the business, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, as much as I like Daniel Bryan, it's really hard to take him seriously as a world heavyweight champion when he's like my size.
Yeah, well,
you know?
he definitely gets a pass because he has that presence of a wrestler because he's real, he's skillful. And Adam Cole is just a normal guy that kind of learned some cool moves. Like, have you seen those recent pictures floating around of him backstage? Arms, like, super skinny and all that stuff. Like, he just doesn't even look like a wrestler. Yeah, he's really tiny. And it's like, is this what wrestling's come to, man? Come on. Like, you even have to have a little muscle that you can just bump on. Bumping can't feel good for you, like, with how skinny you are.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the 80s, they were all either muscled up or they were fat dudes. Either way, they had a bunch of cushioning.
Yeah, exactly. Big example was one of my favorites from that time. I, retroactively watched this stuff. I can't say that I was like around during the stuff, but Dick Murdoch, I think it was. Dick Murdoch was insane in the ring, and he was just this big fat dude, but he could do crazy like headstands and flips and stuff, cartwheels. It was crazy.
Well, look at like Otis.
Oh, I love Otis. Otis is a perfect example of what we should have more of.
Keith Lee.
He needs to grow that beard back, though. He looks so weird without it.
Otis,
that's kind of what they're
no neck.
The Viking Raiders, there's another example. Some big guys that can really move.
Oh, yeah. Brian Cage, another good example. The dude looks like a big muscle head, but he can do lucha moves.
Yeah. I cannot wait until someone else gets a hold of Brian Cage, because right now, AEW is not giving this man justice.
Agree.
Braun Strowman, another one. Well, he's fast. For a big guy, he sure can move. He can get up and get going. He's not just power. I mean, he's got some speed on him.
I heard this once in class. That was like, with all these big men doing the lucha moves, what are us small guys even gonna be able to do with all these guys just
small guys need to switch to power moves. Have all the small guys start doing like the Hulk Hogan power moves, and until the big guys get it through their head that they shouldn't be doing moonsaults.
True. Well, like, they don't even have to be doing moonsaults to even show like the athleticism. As Suzy was saying, the whole like Braun Strowman, just his speed was insane. That speed you wouldn't see from an Andre the Giant or a Big Show.
Yeah.
The big guys can show off their stuff without doing the lucha moves. They can do speed moves and, just the quick moves in the ring showcase themselves without doing the lucha moves.
Back in WCW, the Giant did a top rope missile drop kick.
I remember that.
That was insane. I heard even.
Back then you could do moonsaults, but they wouldn't let him do them.
Yep. Yeah, that like in training he was doing moonsaults, and they were like, "Don't do that, brother."
They're like, "No, you need to wrestle like a giant.
You're a giant. Be a giant." Yeah.
I mean, the problem
Jamar,
is, like, if all the big guys are doing jumpy flips, then they're not special anymore. If everybody's doing them, they're not special.
Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
And that doesn't
It's
even
like what we were
just
talking
apply for
about with,
weight.
and it's like what we were talking about with finishers. If everybody's kicking out, they're not special anymore. There's things that have to be protected and kept special. And if you don't protect them and keep them special, then what's the point? If everybody's
Exactly.
doing the flippy moves, then why have the flippy moves?
Again, why have the little guys if all the big guys can do them? The little guys stop being special.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to do all the jumpy, flippy stuff is what made WCW's cruiserweight division such a big deal at the time, because the big guys weren't doing any of that stuff. It's what made them stand out. But now everybody's doing that stuff, so nobody stands out.
If the big guys can do that stuff, that's fine. Let them occasionally, every once in a while, do it.
Exactly.
But not all the time. It doesn't make it, it's not special. It's not that wow factor. If they pull it out of their hat at big matches every once in a while, it gives that shock factor. And you're going, oh, well, when's the next time they're going to do that? And you start looking for that move. And if they don't do it all that time, the next time they do it, that shock factor is back again.
Mm-hmm.
And you go with that anticipation of, when do I see it again? And you're enthralled, and you're watching for it, and you're anxious to see it. And if it's not there every match, that anticipation builds, and it builds until you see it, and it's like, oh, wow, and we're missing that in these matches. We're missing that shock factor, that awe factor, the wow.
Because it's all been done to death.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And people think, oh, but what do you expect? One more flip? No, I just expect more innovation. You want to see innovation? There's a guy on the indies right now. His name is Smiley. I'm a little biased because he's, a trainee from House of Glory, but he's very good. He is very unpredictable. He will grab a limb and twist you in a certain way that you will never see ever. He will bounce off the ropes in a way that you'll never ever see. And the craziest part about him is he's not a small guy. He's got some size to him. So it's not like he's just this small guy that he's only there, oh, let's see the guy do another flip. No, he's got, enough of a size to him where he looks like a wrestler. So if you get the chance to check out Smiley, he's a little hard to look up because, of the wrestler Norman Smiley. And just, how generic Smiley of a name is, but you got the right guy if he's got a bunch of different masks. He's a luchador. His most notable one is the basic emoji kind of smile mask.
Okay.
He's actually going to be wrestling on the 12th on Saturday against one of our other guys. That is the perfect example of learn everything, even if you're not going to do it. Charles Mason. He's very good character work. Those are two guys that I think right now are the best on the indies that nobody has their eyes on, that they should have their eye on.
Okay. Well, we have been on here for 3 hours, guys. It's been fun, but I am starting to get a headache. I need to get off of here. So, Riley, thank you. This has been you have been a lot of fun to talk to, and love the different conversations that we have had. the different angles we have talked to. Well, scratch it, Squid. Nobody says you
They
can't
make cream
scratch
for
your
that.
itch. Yeah, they do make creams for that too. Jamar, I never did get a message from you. Maybe by the next time we can get it figured out so that I can get you the link and you could come on. I will get with Blaze to get your call and get you on the show. We're glad to have you. I would recommend, Jamar, getting Skype. It's a free download. You can put it on your phone, put it on your computer. It is free. It's easy to use. And a lot of the information that goes out about EXW goes out on Skype. So I would really recommend getting Skype. It's a lot easier to get information about EXW through Skype. Um,
It's
Probably would have had,
100% free.
yeah, it is free. So I would recommend getting Skype. Makes it a whole lot easier to get the information to you. So or next time, give me your email address, um, and I'm going to shoot you an email with your with the link. That's what I do with Firestar every week. I just email her. It works, doesn't it? Since we can't do Twitter, we started out with Twitter and then went to email. So, Riley, I enjoyed it. We've had a lot of great conversation tonight. Thank you for hanging in there while I did the show updates. Firestar, thank you for being here with us. You were kind of quiet, but you were there, and I appreciate you. Nacho, I love you, brother. Glad you called in
Aw,
tonight
thank you.
as the first. You make my day so much brighter when you're around. I love you.
Thank you.
And be sure to give my girl a big hug for me when you see her and tell her that I miss her. I miss her being at the show.
She's had a rough few weeks. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
her grandfather died.
Oh,
She
Oh,
I'm
I'm
hasn't
so
so
seen.
sorry,
sorry.
Nacho.
Not
Is
my
it
dad. It was my mom's dad.
so the husband of the grandmother?
Yeah. My dad died
Oh,
when she was like a year old, so she doesn't even remember him.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I know she lost her grandmother recently too, so wow. Poor thing. Well, give her an extra big hug for me and tell her that I'm thinking about her.
I will.
Yeah, I miss her too.
She's such a sweetie. I can't wait till we build Polly for 2K22. We'll have to do that one Saturday right when we get the game. So
Oh, she'll
I
love that.
still I still don't know if they're doing cross platform or not. That where
I've
you
heard
build
they
it
are,
like,
so I've been thinking about buying it for my Xbox if they have it. I mean, I've heard a bunch that they are, but I haven't seen anything concrete about it.
yeah,
Just
I haven't seen anything concrete either. But if they don't, I would love to sit down and build Polly with her like we did. If they do cross
oh, she
platform, I
loves
know
that.
you'll build it with her. But either way, I can't wait to have Polly on 22. So um, but I've got the NWO pre-ordered, so I look forward for all of the great adventures we're going to have in 2K22 with Riley and Firestar and Nacho and Polly and Suzy and everybody. And tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will have Thursday Revolution. I will get the match card posted here in just a little bit, and then we'll be back Friday with Murderous Matchup at 4:30. That's our early show. And Sunday we will have a show. It will either be day 2 from our midsummer or midwinter um, pay-per-view that we didn't have, or it will be the men's show. Cougs is feeling up to getting us a match card. So one or the other, it will be a show on Sunday at, I have to remember what time. It's been a while. It's been a month. 9 p.m. Eastern.
Well, if she doesn't give you a match card, just book me and Riley against each other like 7 times.
There we go.
a best of 7 between you and Riley with every match we have.
I'm down to crown the table's champion.
Well, then you have to get me a belt between now and Sunday.
Oh, I can definitely get it done. Yeah, I'll figure out a way.
So 7 tables matches.
I hope I lose, because I would feel wrong winning a belt that you made.
No.
You should get to have it first because you made it.
Rage just said it's going to be cross-platform. Have you heard that from the developers or? Rage?
There's been a few interviews out there from developers that said it was cross-platform.
Well, I really hope that's true, because that will definitely open up a lot of doors for a lot of people, not just, I mean, that'll open up a lot of doors.
Actually, I think it was also in one of the trailers as well.
Okay. I hadn't seen it in a trailer, so direct from the developers. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
That is awesome. That will definitely help a lot of us out. Open up a lot of doors for a lot of people to help us out get characters. That is awesome. So yay, they're doing something right. Now, if everything else just works right.
Now they just need to give me creator ref so Nacho can retire and just become a ref.
Yes, that would be awesome if we had creator ref. That would be awesome if we had a creator ref.
They're just
2%
special
chance
refereeing
of Rage is returning. Well, if y'all do, that would be great. I'd love to have the Rages on EXW. If not, that's fine too. We will move on. But thank you guys for being here at the show. I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. If you didn't share it out, it's still not too late to share out the show. There is a handy dandy share button down there. Always appreciate any shares, likes. Remember, my like that I put on the show is my appreciation for each and every one of you for being here, whether it's live or on the replay. I appreciate y'all, and hope y'all be back next week at Roundtable. And remember, if you haven't been vaccinated, wear that mask. Doesn't hurt to wear it if you have been vaccinated. You can still get the coronavirus. I'm vaccinated and I still got it. So you still can get it out there, folks. So be careful. Social distance, do those things. If you haven't gotten vaccinated, research the vaccine, talk to your doctor, and you feel it's right for you, get the vaccine, folks. Those of you who've gotten vaccinated, get the booster shot. Do those things to help protect yourself, folks. But remember, only if you feel like it's right for you. And if you have an opportunity to do some good out there, folks, let's be a catalyst for good. And no matter how public or private, big or small, let's do some good out there. And, you might cause a tidal wave of good out in your community. And remember, it doesn't even have to cost you anything. Help somebody with their groceries. Return a cart from the parking lot. Things like that. Little things like that are big to other people. So, let's be a catalyst for good in our communities. So with that, I'm going to tell y'all, have a great night. Thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, for Thursday Revolution. Good night, everybody.